You one picture which explains many things. We said two halachot. One, that when you have to go to the Beit Knesset, you have to arrive the first, let's say among the 10 first people. The second one is to run to when you feel that you have to do a mitzvah, not only to pray, but any kind of mitzvah, but especially if for praying, you have to run to arrive with a lot of passion. And when you arrive in front of the door, you stand a little bit. So I will explain to you now one very important thing, is the intentions to have when you have the mezuzah. When you are in front of the mezuzah. What does it mean? We know that many story people telling that it's good to walk from your house to the Beit Knesset with the talit and the tefillin and so on. But we don't know what's happened exactly, what should be done. You see a mezuzah, what you do? Okay, what? It's you like this, you like this. What do you do? What is this? What's the purpose of that? What do you have to think? Why the sage create that? And why this is protective for you on your road, on your way from the two places? And how this will be helpful for you to be inside of the place of prayer with fear, not being afraid, no, fear of God. He's saying, I'm reading from that place. You will not find this in regular Sidurim. This is for Kavanot. He said, when you go away, you go out from your house. He said, I have one mezuzah here. He said, you have to look at the mezuzah. Here's one mezuzah. He said, you have to look at the mezuzah. But if you look at the mezuzah, you will see that on the other side you have written one name, Shaddai. You can see it. So what's happened when you put the mezuzah on the door next to at this place? You have always to be careful that this name, Shaddai, will be in front of your eyes. So if you use a box where to put the mezuzah, put a box which is not in woods or stone where you don't see the mezuzah itself. Your eyes have to be always on the mezuzah. And I know that in Nigeria, maybe you need mezuzot. So two options. Or we send you mezuzot, or I teach one of you how to write them. You have to choose what you prefer. I know because it was my discussion with Rabbi Eliyahu Gaon today. You have to have mezuzah. You have to have mezuzah. Just to see how we can find that kind of material. And once, the best writer of you have to learn. You write them and you put them on the doors. And he said, when you put the mezuzah on the doors, you have to see that name. So he said, Istakel, look, what is look? Don't look at the mezuzah. Look at that name. Your eyes have to be on Shaddai, here. And Rabbi Yokuma.
Thank you, Araf. I want to know if it is compulsory to always inspect the scroll of the mezuzah, because I have one for so many years now.
Yeah.
And the scroll, the scroll is sealed with waterproof paper. Yeah. I feel if I open it, I might damage it, or just try to leave it like this. I don't inspect it. No, I don't check.
It's not a problem. When you feel that in your house, things starts to be heavy, you know, shalom bite, you know, it's with the wife, it's a little bit hard, nervous, tensions. You see that the children are sicky, and you know that's money don't come. All the stuff that don't make your life calm. It's important to check. So if you don't have another waterproof to put on the mezuzah, just release it with intention. Like you keep it for when you sell it. After you just open it and send to me the picture. And I will teach to you how to see if they are kosher or not on some aspects.
Okay. Thank you, Arab.
So you have the mezuzah. When you go out from your place, you look at it because now you're building the shield for you. Because we do know what the danger is. The danger is not in the private space. The danger is in the public space. This is the place where someone will come to you and talk to you about this new strategy of making money, or come with me, we're going to go to the nightclub. All the temptation, all the place of danger is outside. That's why we need to be protected. So you go out, you look at the mezuzah, you stand in front of the mezuzah. והיא סוד המלכות נוגבה דזה, הנקרא אימא, שמספר מילוי אב כזה, עם שקל זה בין שקו, ובלכתו לבית הכנסת. So you say, what's happened? He said, you have to know that the mezuzah, it is here. His name in the Gemara and the Torah, it's mother, Ima. So what is Ima? So Ima, it's the other name, like we saw, of the last A. We saw that the two A are called mother. See, what is that? Ima. It's like this. It's 40. This is 1 and 5. So the gematria of Ima is 46. What is 46? Mem vav, mu. So what happened? Let me see. Okay. This is the name of God, okay. I had the milui, the phonetics. Yud, I'm missing vav dalet. Hey, I'm missing yud. Hot vav, I'm missing yud vav. And hot hey, I'm missing yud. So all the letters in red, their numerical value are 46. And the name that is written on the mezuzah is Shaddai. So what does it mean? When I look at the mezuzah, to have protection, basically the backlight coming on me to be protected, how I activate it is looking at the mezuzah. I think that mezuzah, it's Ima. What is Ima? 46. What is 46? It's Vav, Dalet, Yud, Yud. Vav, Dalet, Yud, Yud, Vav, Yud. This is mezuzah. only the red letter. I think Vav Dalet Yud Yud Vav Yud, which is 46, coming from the name Ab with Shaddai. And you will see, you will feel that something is covering you. So never go away from your house too fast. You go, you step few seconds in front of the mezuzah, you say, you think what we study now, and after you kiss it. Now you go to the Beit Knesset. And he said, you have to arrive to the Beit Knesset being with fear. That fear also you will build it. What he said, when you arrive to the Beit Knesset, you have to think that is Bebet Elohim Nilea Beragesh. In the house of God, we will go with good emotions, good feelings. You want this picture?
Yes, Rabbi, please.
He said, you have to think to one pasuk. Bebet Elohim Nilea Beragesh. In the house of God, we go with good feelings. He said, when you take the first letter of these 4 words, they are in red in your picture, I'm in the middle. We have one God's name, which God's name? Ban. What is Ban? It's in red. Yud Vav Dalet He He Vav Vav He He. And after you had another name, Aleph Bet Gimel Yud Taf Tzadi, which are basically the first letter of Ana, Bekoa, Gedula, Demika, Tatzir, Zeora. And he said, you are not obliged to think about that, but it's just to tell you how it's built. Now, when you are in front of the door of the Beit Knesset, you think about 3 sentences, 3 pasuk. You say, Ve'ani berov chazdecha, and me, full of your chesed, evo bebetecha, I will come to your house. You connect yourself to Abraham. And after you think, Eshtachave el echal kodshecha biratecha, I will bow down in front of the entrance of the entrance of your place, the house of Tefillah, with fear. You connect yourself to Yitzchak. And after you said, Vayira vayomer manura makom hazeh, when it means that he was afraid and he said, how impressive is this place? You connect yourself to Yaakov. So this is the way to make the halacha that the Ben Israel said. What you have to keep in mind, what is important now, please, 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 we have to provide mezuzot. 2 options. Or we send DHL a few. A few who can be sent. Not enough, not a lot, but a few. Let's say I have 6 here. At least 1 at your doors, entrance doors. 1. You can send. What you do, you look at the mezuzah. If you have a box which don't give you to see the letters, you have to change it. Find a box like this. You see inside. It means that if I have a mezuzah, if I put it inside, I will always see what is written inside. See, example. Yes, I do see. It's important. Even if sometimes it's more beautiful to take box in stones of Jerusalem, box with that. We know that it's not worth it at all. It's beautiful, but not useful. Karabelia, you have a question?
Yes, Araf. Please, Araf, are you saying that we should not use a mezuzah case that we cannot see the letters inside the mezuzah?
I would say that if you didn't study that, you have no problem. But because you know that, you have to think twice now. Because how will you do if you don't see the name Shaddai? You have to see it written on the scroll. So the best is where the cheaper. Where the cheaper. You go everywhere in every store. This is the cheapest box of mezuzah. All the other, they are more expensive. If you don't make by yourself, you just cover it good, very good. Something where you can see the name. It's not forbidden, but if you are on that level, you have to see it. Halakha Gimel. Halakha Gimel, I said always here. I explained to you that you have to wait before to enter, and it's telling you you have to think about the free psukim verse what we saw. Halakha Dalet. It say, יקבע מקום תפילתו, שלא ישנהו ולעו דווקא בקבעה של בית כנסת, אלא גם בבית הכנסת שקבעו בה, יקבע שם במקום, וכן שיתפלל בביתו לפרקים, וגם כן בקבע מקום להתפלל בו בכל פעם, ועיקר הקביעות מקום הוא בתפילת העמידה. They said, you have to choose for yourself and to have a place where you do sit in the Bet Knesset, also in the Bet Midrash, the same place, every time. Why? Because you're building something there. Your spirituality is standing here. And he said, not only at the Bet Knesset, but also at home. If you're at home, you have your corner when you go, you go to pray. Don't change. Keep the same place. He said, what is the reference regarding praying? He said, the place where you do your Amidah. This is that place. What does it mean? If I'm sitting here, I know that for my Amidah, I do 10 steps. So my place is not where I'm sitting. My place is where the Amidah will be done. So keep always that place. Same thing when you study. Keep the same place. Why? Now I can tell you the beginning of the explanation because Ben Ishai don't tell you here. We saw that every voice, every sound, everything which comes out from your mouth create entities. They are standing and moving with you. The part which is moving, move with you. But the part which is standing, stay or place in the place where you were studying, praying. That's why he said it's good to have your habits. Keep it very, very important. Halakha, hey. איסור להתפלל בעיצבון. דאם יתפלל בעיצבון, אין נפשו יכולה לקבל אור עליון הנמשך אל האב בעת התפילה. וכך בשעת דווידוי, להתעטב על עוונותיו. He said it's forbidden to pray when you are sad. The only moment where sadness is accepted in prayer, it's when you wake up at midnight and you start to cry about the destruction of the temple. We don't pray by being sad. He said, when you pray by being sad, your soul cannot receive the higher light which comes with you. Not only when you come by being among the 10 first people, not only when you are feeling that you're already connected in your prayer, but also when you're standing to do your Amidah. Because sadness, it's like a screen upon your head. If you're sad, take a moment, go out, run, drink, do something. But don't start to do that, because if you do that, All the prayer you're building are going where? In the other side. It's not worthy at all. So you can ask me, what does it mean? I have to be happy? I'm not a man who smiles easily. So no, your heart should be peaceful. How can you do if you have to pray to pay the bills, not paid, missing money, missing wife, missing respect, missing moment, missing happiness? You miss all that. My advice for you is to say, you know what? All this belongs to the world of illusions because we are dreaming. Let me take distance with all that and now try to awake myself and to be connected to the real reality. These moments are healthy. Look at people who are depressed and so on because they don't take pause, they don't make distance with what they live. They have one problem, they say it's red, I want it yellow. All the day long it's thinking, it's red, it's red, it's red, it's red, it's red. Stop. Why is it important? You are standing now like leaders. People asking you to pray for them. You have sadness here. It's done. Nothing will happen. Nothing at all. And after said, it's only permits to be sad about Chatzot Laila or when we do the vidui. When you say after the Amidah, Ashamnu, Baganu, Gazanu, Dibanu, the Lashon Hara. Yes, you say, okay, I admit, I messed up, I stole, I did Lashon Hara. Yes, but not to pray in sadness in Amidah and Chashma. After he said, קודם תפילה יקבל מצוות ואהבת לך כמוך ולכן אם יש אדם מישראל שבצרה יתפלל עליו כל יום בפירוש ועל ידי זה תיכלל תפילתו בכלל תפילת כל ישראל ותעשה פרי. I have one big question for you. A translator will see what you understood. He said, before the prayer, you have to have inside of your heart the desire to do one mitzvah, the mitzvah to love all Israel, to love the other like yourself. ואהבת לרעך כמוך. Okay. And he said, why? Also, he had, if you know that one Jewish have difficulties in your community or around in the community, let's say, you have to pray for a situation. And after said, you have to pray every day for a situation. And after he said, when you do that, your prayer will bring fruit. Sorry, I have a problem now. Because I have been taught that when you pray, when you do mitzvah, it should be without interest. So if I want fruit for my prayers, I have interest. Second, how is it possible for me to love the others like myself? This man, I hate him because he stole me money. Or let's say, I don't know what's happened for Jewish in Nigeria. I don't know all of you. How many times do I have to take to love all the creation of God, all the Jewish? What is that rules? It's impossible. I'm about to pray. We have 2 hours. We have to give the keys after. Do I have time to think about all the Jews to say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you? What do you understand? What does it mean for you? How do you apply this in your daily prayers?
Harav, are you asking us a question?
Yes.
Ask the question again, Harav, please.
I said, how do you do to apply the situation that Ben Ish Chai is describing now before you start to pray. First of all, he said you have to love the others like yourself. How do you do that? Do you know all the people, all the Jews of the world? First question. Second question, he said you have to pray for people who have difficulties. You know the difficulties of the people? Most of the time they don't tell you. Last point, he said, like this, your prayer will make fruits. How is it possible? I've been taught not to do things for purpose of money or interest after. So what's the solution? How do you do by yourself? How do you understand? What do you understand?
I think as a Jew or a Torah keeper, when we pray, each person pray in the name of the whole of Israel. When you say I, you are saying the whole of Israel. And your prayer is as if you are praying on behalf of everybody, not yourself. You are not alone. You are praying with every of the Israelites. Then as for others, we do remember them, especially the ones we know that have issues. We pray for them. If they are not comfortable, you, because of the love you have for them, you cannot be comfortable. That's my little layman's idea of what you are asking now. Maybe you will put it better.
We're going to see some details. Other answers?
Araf, I feel what is talking about is that you should feel the pain of your fellow Jew. And if a Jew has wronged you, you should forgive the Jew in your heart before you pray. Because if you carry malice or grudges or revenge in your heart, you cannot say you love your fellow. And I think that's what Rabbi Akiva is saying, that Ve'ata V'raecha Kamoka is the summary of the whole Torah. That is the way I understand it.
Somebody has an answer about the fruit of the prayer? You pray with interest?
Rabbi,
Yes, Rabbi Israel.
Rabbi, I will say that with regard to the fruit of prayer, let us assume that you have a particular request, so you have a pressing need on your own. So when you pray, you pray for the community, for Hashem to pray. You believe also in the community. You are praying for such, you are praying for Panasa. You pray and say, may Hashem provide for members of this community, the Jews who are lacking this, to be able to provide this thing for themselves. So as you are taking cognizance of the people, also your own will be answered.
Well, I receive your answer. I agree. We don't hear everything, but I agree. But let's make it clear. The halacha, how we have been taught, how we receive the traditions, is when it's talk about you have to love the Jews. It's odd, because the Gemara said, a Jewish, born Jewish, who don't observe mitzvot is not a Jewish. What does it mean? I have a problem. Because loving everybody like myself, Gemara said, this one who is not keeping Shabbat and Kashrut is not your brother. It's hard. What does it mean here? Here's a solution. It's talking about people being with you in the same room for praying. They are this one that you have to love. I'll give you one secret. Why? Because you are the same soul. All the people praying together in the same room, all the people studying together in the same room, they are the same soul. That's why when you love him, you love yourself. It's just same roots, but different branches. Keep this in mind. Never treat your community badly because you treat yourself badly. Never treat your student badly because you treat your student, you treat yourself badly. So when you want to create the real atmosphere for prayer, and you are the Shaliat Tzibur, you are this one who's gonna lead the prayer. Before to start, Hashem Sifatai Tiftach. You stop, you look at everybody in the room. Look at them. Gemara, even the Breslev, Rabbi Nachman said, when you look at him, connect yourself with him. Love him. Try to say that, to think that when you're going to pray, you'll also elevate all his intentions. This is the first thing. This is talking about people being with you in the minyan. So the danger is when you are in a place where you have minyan every 10 minutes. People, you don't know them at all. You just come and you say, okay, minyan, okay. Yeah, okay. Be careful. It's not because you did the minyan in 5 minutes in a place where you know nobody, that the souls around you are not yours also. God brings situations to you. Second aspect, when he said you have to pray for his difficulties, yes, because you know him. How can you pray? Let's say you have a place of prayer. How can you pray with a man you don't know him? Say shalom. Let him express himself. Ask. No. So you as leaders, you have to know what's happening in your communities. What is to pray for him in your prayer? When you think about this situation, think about people who are surrounding you. And they say only that condition your prayer will make fruits. Chas Shalom. It's not you will receive this from your prayer. No. What is a prayer who makes fruits is a prayer which is received. Received and sealed. What does it mean? You receive a light back, or choser, a light of shefa. What is shefa? Life, children, parnasa, money, works. These are the fruits. It's not egoist, but keep in mind, all the people who pray the same room, they are the same Gilgul. It's done. Especially if you are in the community and you have the same minyan for 20 years. Halacha 6.
Sorry, Rabbi, before you move on, we were made actually to understand, or the explanation was, the prayer is not a time to place our needs before God, the list of our needs before God. It is a moment for thanking God for what he has done for us up to that point. That's what the rabbi here, Tzvi, actually told us.
Yes.
It's not a request for this or request for that, but to thank him for what he has done for us up to that given point.
Exactly. Or you connect the both thoughts. When he said that, we know one or two which are in difficulties. It's not in your Amidah. It's not in your different level of praying. what's happened, you love each other, you know about the situation, you make your prayer. When you arrive to Aleinu Leshabeach, which is the last prayer, the final, and you finished, what does it mean? We did the work. Now, you go see the guy and ask, pray. All of you, you pray, do a blessing or praying for God, or you say tell him for a situation. But this is the highest part of the prayer because you are asking for somebody else. This is how we connect the two aspects of praying without putting our personal tax in the action of praying, and praying for the problem. It's not inside of what was fixed by the sage. It's after. Like this we received. You don't ask your personal situation during the prayer. You finish all your tasks, and after you ask. You stand, you sit in your bank, in your chair, facing the Sefer Torah, and start to think and ask. Rabbi Okuma.
Shalom Harav, and I still want to add another question. At what point of the Tikkun Hazot can one make a request for himself or for someone who has problems or health issues?
This is what we do. When we wake up before midnight, we start first to do the blessing of morning, and after we start Tikkun Chatzot. When we finish Tikkun Chatzot, we don't straight go to pray. We have some prayers that we do, and one of them is the Ketoret. We have here the tradition to say the Ketoret every day. The Ketoret is not the text only what you have before Mincha. This is person. For example, this one is mine. You say the Ketoret. What are the purpose of the Ketoret? Before I start to study, I do Ketoret. The purpose is like this. Who gave the Ketoret to Moshe is the angel of death. Angel of death. When Moshe arrived to the Gan Eden, let's say, they don't want to give the Torah. God help him. They say, okay, we'll give you a gift. Every angel give him a gift. Give to him a gift. The angel of death give Ketoret. He said, every time you will see me acting downstairs in your world of illusion, if you want me to stop, it's basically people dying, people being sick. So just say the Ketoret, but the full text, not only the part you have in Mincha. And he said, I will stop. So what we do is after Tikkun Chatzot, we take, for me it's half an hour, I pray, I read, and after at the end I have a bakasha, demands. And at this moment, I had all the name of people that I know they need God to act in their life. So this is, you don't have this. So what you can do is after your Chatzot, you can say Te'ilim. You can say Te'ilim. Or you know what? I will send to you one Ketoret which was done by Utina Kadisha, but in the Pshat, without all the Kavanot. Let me say it to you now. I guess I'll not forget. And you can just follow the text. And let's open it together. One second. In every circumstance, death, not death, this is problem of mental issues or problem of feeling that at home things are not smooth and everything is heavy, everything is hard, or any kind of thing, you do the Ktoret. This should be a prayer you always use. I give it to you now. You can share it with people you know that they know how to read because everything is in Hebrew. That's 1 second. Send. I think you received. Received. It's PDF.
Yes, Rabbi. Yes, Rabbi.
Okay. I will read with you, first of all, the second page. On the right side, it's in English. So first of all, introduction, I'm giving you the roots of this action of Ketoret. It's in Zohar Kadosh, Parashat Vayakel, Daf Resh Yud Chet. It's written like this in Zohar. Everyone who observes and reads the Seder of the Ketoret every day will be delivered from all bad things, from witchcraft of the world, from all bad fortune, from all bad thoughts, from all bad judgment, as well as from death. He will not suffer any damage all the day long. That's why we do it every day. The other side, Sitra Achara, will not be able to dominate over him. And you have to read the Seder with Kavanah. This is the Kavanah. I have the Kavanot, but the Kavanah also means you read it, you try to connect with the text you read. This text, Tzadikim, is very powerful. If someone call you, my home, you go, you pray that. So Rabbi Eliezer Gaon, it was also one of the texts I wanted to give to you, except the mezuzah.
Okay, Arab.
So after you go to the page 4, because it's I did it in French and in English. So on page 4, you have precaution for use. You have the page. I start to read.
No, Rabbi. Rabbi, you have the page.
Okay.
You have the page.
He said, I'm saying because I signed the precaution for use. It's important to remember that there is no situation, positive or negative, which is not full with, which is not the full will of our Creator, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Everything is come to us, come from God. This is what we call good, and this is what we call bad. He creates good, he creates evil. And if everything exists only by his will, then when we are going through difficult situations, shalom, the wisest things is to ask and to invoke his rahmanut, his mercy. We have to ask for his rahmanut. What is rahmanut? It's not to ask for here being chesed. Chesed is only right side. Gvura, dinim, judgment is the left side. The mix of both is rahmanut. Pity, mercy. The perfect combination of his goodness and his rigor. This is the meaning and purpose of the Seder Pitum Aktoret, a series of prayers and sacred texts compiled by our masters, who replaced the offer that was raised every day at the Beit HaMikdash. So what they did, they say, okay, we lost the temple. We substitute the prayers, the sacrifice by the prayers. So what about the Ktoret? Aaron was bringing every day some incense. They say we will also build the prayer for that. So everything is big codes, but it works. Because the prayer of our mouth punctually replaced the offering and sacrifice when the temple was in activity, may we see it revealed in our lifetime. We must therefore read this Seder with fear and trembling, because it is unfathomable depth and threatening effectiveness when the writer puts on the clothes of Kedusha and Tahara. He puts on the clothes of Kedusha and Tahara in his thoughts, words, and action. So what does it mean? You have to be like when you are entering the Beit Knesset. Prepare yourself to read the Ketoret. As I said, its effectiveness is even increased the tenfold when 10 people of the friendship, out of friendship solidarity comes together to do Seder. So they say you have to know, you have only no problem say the Seder, but if you bring a minyan, you sing the Seder, the power is much more. It will therefore be essential before starting to read to make a sincere tshuva, the tshuva. Because these bad things happen to you, things are not smooth, there's a reason. And to regret our bad thought, words, and action that will have delivered us into the hands of the Yetzer Hara, the Nachash, and the Samermen. We must then practice that, what our sage have called mituk adin, to sweeten the rigors, the softening of rigors. Such is the role of the Ktoret. We should avoid doing this Seder after dark, so after when it's night, until Chatzot. After Chatzot, it permits. We also avoid telling this on Shabbat. Now, what is the text? This text, you have just to follow the text how it comes once after the other. Because you have some text, you have to say them one time, 2 times, 3 times. I put all things together. You just have to read. For example, the first line you have the V'inoam 2 times. You say V'inoam, you read, and after you repeat V'inoam. After you start, Atahu. After I'm in the first box, which is gray. Vayomer, Hashem el Moshe lemor ka'alecha. You say it 3 times. You repeat, you read the line. After I'm the next box. The same pasuk, but the letters are it's back and forth. The pasuk is, I'm starting from the back. So I say, so I said, the pasuk which was in the first box, now in the second box, it's the opposite. The last word becomes the first word, and the first word becomes the last word. You just have to read. After it's Ve'asita ota ketoret roka maser roka minataor. You jump, I continue. I'm in the second page, page 6 for you. In the box also you have 3 times the same text to say. Vayomer aleim Israel aviem imken efozot. Every time you see boxes, it's for a purpose. After you have the page 7, the text of Vayas et menorah, how it describes the building of the menorah. You have to say it 7 times. That's why you have the sfirot on your left. The first time, Chesed. Second time, Guvra. Third time, Tiferet. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 times. After, in the page 10, I'm in the page 10, I finished the 7th time of the menorah. You said, Vayomer Moshe, you said 3 times. That's why you have 3 books. After page 11, you have the menorah. You say the text inside. After you say the text, Vayamod Pinchas, Vayitpalel Vatatzah Magefa is the first sentence of the page 12. And after you say the Bakasha, so fight, because the Bakasha didn't put the vowels, it's only the letters. You do first Bakasha, and after you continue you say the Teilim, Yoshe Beseter, 7 times. The small red gray box in page 12. After you say Eshet Chayil, after another Koah, and after the page 14, you have the second Bakasha. And the second Bakasha, you will see in the middle of the text, Ploni, Ben Ploni in gray with line. At this moment, you have to say the name of all the people you're praying for. All the people. If it's for one person, you say the name of that person, his name, and the name of his mother. If it's many people, you say all the names. It's really here. I think you saw it. I'm in that page. Sorry. You can see. Yes. Here. It's in gray. So this is a very powerful weapon for any kind of needs and ask that may happen for you, family, friends, as a channel. You can print it. If you can print it, no problem. It's ours.
תודה רבה, הרב.
בשמחה רבה.
תודה רבה רבה, תודה רבה.
בשמחה רבה, בשמחה רבה. Let me just see. Because I think I'm going to finish to now, because the Lachot are, most of them we did it. Basically, the Halacha Vav is talking about the Zmirot. What is telling you the main idea is in the week, we don't pray with a louder. We pray with a very silent, small voice. So the only moment when Arakadosh, so we are talking about all the prayers before the Amidah. The only moment when Arakadosh was raising the voice in the prayer, it was on Shabbat. All the day of the week, it's calm. On Shabbat, even on Shabbat, it was like, sweet, not like I'm screaming. And the another thing in the Halacha Vav, it's when you are praying, so when you start to pray, it's forbidden to put your finger in your ears and to clean. Because what you have in your ears, it's impurity. So what people have to do, what is bringing in your ear is you have to have all weapons. Yeah, and you clean it. Even if sometimes it's scratching you, don't do that when you pray. Don't put your finger in your ears. The reason is deep, but it's important to know that. And he said so in the Halacha Vav, when you are saying the element of the Ktoret, you have to count them with your fingers. There are 11. He said so it shows how important and our connection, how deep is the connection between you and that holy thing that we just said, the Ktoret. You have to count them. And he said, in the Halacha Zayin, he said it's important to say the Kriyat Shema that you say in the Korbanot. Basically, before you start to do the Zmirot. We have basically 4 Kriyat Shema. In the morning, we have 2. But sometimes people make mistakes. Let's say that it's permit in our generation. They start to pray at Odu. That is Odu, is the text just before Hashem Melech, Hashem Malach. That you're trapped because I have one halacha here asking you to do 2 Kriyat Shema before. One Kriyat Shema before the Kriyat Shema, which is just before your Amidah. So the real moment when we start prayer is Elokeinu Elohe Avotenu. You start with the sacrifice of Yitzchak, Akedat Yitzchak. If you start at Odu, you squeeze 1 Kriyat Shema. He says it's forbidden. He says it's important, halacha 7. It's important to say the Shema which are in the Korbanot with the same strength and the same energy that you have when you say the Shema just before the Amidah. And he said after, when you are doing that, you have, when you say the Kriyat Shema, the word Kriyat Shema in the morning, you have to close your eyes and to feel that you are ready to give your life for God. Ready or you really give? What do you think? I will answer. So first of all, when you do Kriyat Shema, what do we do? You do like this. The 2 fingers here, these 2 fingers, goes on the 2 eyes, like this. The 3 finger of the middle goes on the forehead. And you are like this. Shema Israel, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. You make the dalet of Echad long. When you do that, he said, you have to be so connected that you are ready to die. It's not ready to die. You have to die. But how to die? With your soul. So what we do? Echad. If I don't know how to do it by my intentions, I open my eyes and I receive on me the 4 death of the Beit Din. I will explain to you now. You receive, and after you said in the not louder, Baruch Shem Kevod. So here is the steps. Here are the steps. Shema Israel. Okay. Hashem Echad. So I say Echad. And I say Echad. On the dalet, I spend time. Echad. Echad. Okay. After, I have to die. Why? It's not normal that the Jewish say the name of God, Hashem Israel, and he's not ready to give his life for God. At least your soul will die. I have to die. How do you do it? I'll help you. We have 4 kinds of death. You have to take them on you before to say Baruch Shem. The first one is skila, which is stoning. After it, srefa, which is burning. After it, ereg.
Yes, yeah, to slaughter.
Slaughter. Like this.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And after it's chenek, to hang.
Yeah.
Strangle.
Strangle.
So to do that, I told you this one time already, but I do it again. I need two things. I need one name, Yud Ke Vav Ke. There is Yud Ke Vav Ke. I need the second name, Adonai. Aleph, Dalet, Nun, Yud. So basically, these two names are separated. This is Yud Ke Vav Ke and Adonai. And I have to connect them. Connect the Aleph with the Yud, the Dalet with the He, the Nun with the Vav, and the Yud with the He. But to connect them together, I need two other structures, two other names. First of all, I need sorry, just correct something. I need another name, AKAK. I will be who I will be. I need this name, and I need another name. It's the Miluim. Here, I take this Milui. Yud Ke Vav Ke with only Yud. Here, I take this Milui. Here, I take this Milui. And here, I take this Milui. So here is the diagram, and now I explain to you how it works. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokim Hashem Echad. When I say Echad, now I open my eyes. I say, I take on me stoning. How do I build the stoning? I connect Yud and Aleph through these two names. Aleph and Yud Vav Dalet A, Yud Vav A Yud. This line build on my soul, the stoning. After say, I take on me burning. To do that, I connect He with Dalet by using the He and Sag. Yud Vav Dalet, He Yud, Vav Aleph Vav, He Yud. I receive stunning. Now I will talk on me slaughter, on my soul. How? I connect the Vav with the Nun by using the Yud and the name Ma. Yud Vav Dalet, Re Aleph, Vav, Aleph, Vav, Re Aleph. After I take the last thing on me, Chenek. Strangling by connecting Yud and He with He and Yud Vav Dalet, He, Vav, Vav, He. This is what is saying here. It's halacha. It's not just tradition of Kabbalists. No, it's halacha. The halacha, you have to close your eyes and be ready to sanctify the name of God with the price of your life. If you don't do that, you're a liar because you say echad and you steal life. So we take on us the 4 death, Abba Mitat Bedin, and after you say Baruch Shem Kevod. You want the picture?
Yes, Rabbi, please. Rabbi, we want the picture, please, Rabbi.
Simcha Rabba. One second. So we stopped at, let's finish that. Halacha hate is just asking you to be happy to say the Ktoret when you are saying the text, the Ktoret of the Tfilah, even the Ktoret what I sent to you. Be happy. Don't say the prayer being sad. After said, in the text of the last text, when you say the Korbanot, when you say Habaye, you say Hatahu. You say it's not obliged to say Hatahu. Why we had the Hu? Because Abaye is the name of the rabbi. It's written Aleph Bet He He. So when you say Abaye Hu, it's like you Abaye Hava. It's like when if you don't put the word Hu, in the text in the 9, it say if you don't put the word Hu, the last yud of Abaye and the next word Hava, it can do Yud Ke Vav Ke. So to make a space, we had Hu. This is the 9. It's also it's important to say the Braita of Rabbi Ishmael when he talk about the 13 way to interpret the Torah. He said it's very important to say that with the Kavanot, the good life. And after finish, when you say Odu, say it fast. Because Odu was a text what we were saying when the Levites were bringing the Tamid. So you don't say Odu, people sing that. You say it fast. Odu, na 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 na. Do 11. This is all technique for people of Shatibur. So I keep the halachot to go deep for this one word to tell me, Rabbi, we want to be Sharia Tzibur, so we will enter this. But now I'm giving them, and halacha Yud Bet, the last halacha, is just basically telling you that it's important to say Ribon Alma before to start to do the Korbanot, the Akedah of Yitzchak. In general, it's already in your Siddur. So we finish with Miketz. What I will do, I want to finish all Bereshit. And after we'll restart Bereshit, but in Shabbat. Like this, we will do all the book Shabbat, first year, second year. And next time we're going to do Parashat Vayigash, new Parashat. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen, 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 amen.
תודה רבה,
Thank you.
רבנים. תודה רבה, צדיקים. תודה רבה. If you have any question about doctorate or about the Kachma, feel free to ask me. I know it's not simple to do this, and sometimes it's just with repetition, things become more smooth. So feel free. תודה רבה, 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 רבה.
Thank you.
תודה רבה רבה,
שלום
תודה
רבה.
רבה רבה.
שלום שלום. לילה טוב.
לילה טוב, שבת שלום.
Bye, shalom.